Hey, so I'm sitting here doing dishes because, well, they desperately need to be done. I have no cups left in the cupboard. But while I do them, I figured I would make this video. I didn't have time yesterday because my light ran out, and anyway, I almost don't have time today. I just barely got back from going and doing a class, some private coaching with this guy. But anyway, so last night, what the video is about, I got to do this silent audition. There were no words involved, and it was my very first one to ever sit there and just do a silent audition, where I had to walk by and grab a plate or grab some food and then run back and grab the rest of it. So I go in, and I'm like, because you know me, I can't have anything. So anytime I smell food, it's like vicariously eating it, but better. It's awesome. Anyway, on top of that, I have a very strong sense of smell, and women typically, in general, have a stronger sense of smell than men. So I go in there, and I'm smelling the food, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'm excited to eat it, because I could smell the bag that he brought of rolls that he brought from before he even walked in the door with them, right? I'm like, oh, somebody has food. That smells really good. But he didn't realize that. He doesn't realize that I'm like the sentinel. I have all 5 senses heightened. My husband does. This casting director didn't. Anyway, yeah. Interesting guy. So I'm sitting there talking, he's trying to give me direction and make me a better actress, and he told me to act like I normally would, so I was acting like I normally would, which, for me, I am a sensuous creature. When I eat my food, everybody thinks I'm having an orgasm because I love it so much. I love food. It's amazing. The way it goes into your body, the way it feels inside you, it becomes a part of you. Food is this incredible experience, and I have had the big O while eating. Sorry, this video is not appropriate for people under the age of 12. Let's face it, we're inundated with sex in our society. So 12-year-olds today, unfortunately, are getting the whole sexual message, which is really sad because they need time to just be kids and be innocent. I didn't get to experience my innocence, unfortunately. You gotta love those whole friends of the families and things like that. And so, anyway, this guy is sitting there giving me direction, being like, oh, don't smell it, blah. Because for him, he's a guy, so his sense of smell is only 75% or less of what mine is. So he wouldn't have smelled the food. So he's giving me directions, so I'm like, okay. So I follow his directions, and then he's telling me not to overact it even more. So I give this very blasé of what I would actually do if it was food that I didn't really like. What I missed while I was out of the room was that I was stealing this from a 5-year-old child, who was my 5-year-old child, which, I would never do. Not to mention, I can't exactly have kids, which I haven't been telling people. My husband doesn't really want me to tell people about that, so I don't think he'll ever see this video. But anyway, medically speaking, there's stuff they could do to where I could have kids, so it's not like a hopeless case, but yeah, I figure if my body is saying kids aren't good for me right now, it means that there's a reason for it, and I trust the universe, and I trust my body. So, anyway, so what's going on is this guy decides that I'm not fitting his version of reality, because his version is he wouldn't have been able to smell food. And that's just ridiculous to me. That casting directors are requiring people to fit their tiny, tiny box of what their reality is with just a walk-by. There are so many different versions of reality, and people experience things so differently. Nobody sees the exact same red the exact same way. Our eyes are all different. Our microtubules, our eye cones, whatever. They're all different. They're all shaped differently. They communicate with our brain differently. Our brain interprets things differently. We all have different neural pathways. Nobody has the same reality as somebody else. But these casting directors, they want you to have their reality. And they're going to cast whoever fits the closest to their reality. Unfortunately, I don't have a brain that works like everybody else. My brain is unique. My brain is different. So I have to take acting classes in order to figure out how to fit other people's versions of reality. And I'm okay with that because I really want to understand other people and get them and be able to communicate with them in their version of reality. And nobody's reality is actually real. That's the funny thing. You know, people have inside their heads these pasts that they've had, which don't really exist because, I mean, if you cut open a person's head, you're not going to find their past in there. You're just going to find gray matter, just gray stuff, you know? So you can make your past and your life and who you are into anything. Life isn't about finding out who you are. It's about creating who you want to be and becoming that. It really is. So anyway, this guy who's not sensual is sitting there trying to direct me in how to do a commercial. And I'm listening to him and I do it. So because I was trying so hard to figure out his version of reality and get to know him and figure out what his parameters were, he thought I was too green to be in the industry. I'm grateful for the feedback, very grateful that, you know, that now I know how to fit another casting director's version of reality and not, you know, ask so many questions. But if we don't ask questions, we don't learn and we don't grow. It's kind of sad, really, that anybody would discourage questions and curiosity in this world. This world needs more curiosity, if you ask me. That's my version of reality. I could be wrong, but didn't all the great things come from being curious? I mean, the light bulb, electricity. I mean, even E equals mc squared has been boundless in our technology. It came from curiosity. I mean, think about the flute, the reed, the holes in it. Well, what if I put another hole in the wood? That was curiosity. Every musical instrument, every piece of art, every invention, all of it, everything in this world, everything that you use every single day, except for the plants that grow, and even some of them, because they're genetically modified, came from curiosity. What would happen if? What if? Asking questions, doing these things. So the fact that anybody is anti-curiosity is, well, just beyond me. So if you're not curious, you have lost a part of your soul. Because curiosity is what creates the soul. Curiosity, exploration of the self, all those things. They're really good things. Anyway, so that's me on my soapbox ranting for a little bit. So I should probably end this video because I've said my piece. I probably shouldn't say anymore because this casting director might someday look it up, though I highly doubt it because we're in very different industries. But he really annoyed me. This casting director just got under my skin because he couldn't see outside of his reality to realize that other people have a different version of reality. A reality that's more expansive, better, more sensual, more full. His reality was very empty. His reality was just this tiny, tiny box. And if your reality is this tiny, tiny, tiny box, and you're this great big person, this soul of infinite potential, how in the hell are you ever going to reach that? How are you ever going to reach your potential if your reality is in this tiny, tiny box? So anyway, I did the dishes. Yay me! I haven't been having maids come here because things are a lot more expensive in LA. And also because I haven't been home to have them here. And since I really don't know them that well, I kind of feel uncomfortable just leaving people alone in my house. So until I actually have a chance to sit down and have maids in my house during normal business hours, I'm stuck cleaning up after myself, which I have to tell you, kind of a waste of time. People sit there and think that being messy is a bad thing. Let me tell you what, I have more important things that I could be doing, more people I could be helping, more videos I could be making, more words I could be saying, more thoughts I could be thinking if I didn't have to clean. It's a waste of my time. Whereas somebody else could come here, provide for their family, they could relax away from the kids, they could, you know, somebody who actually enjoys cleaning could come here and it would be like meditation for them. And they could get it done and my house would be beautiful and probably better than I would do it because I really suck at cleaning. And anyway, yeah, but my whole life I've been criticized for not being a person who sits there and cleans all the time. This is all Mel that is not mine that I need to take down. Anyway, so, oh, cool. I have a $50 gift certificate because the person didn't know that it was a different address. And I have a gift card. Okay, so this is not all for other people. Point is, people will sit there and tell you that you're bad for things or that you need to do this and you need to do that. What they're really saying because you're not being who they think they should be. You can be whoever you want. You don't need to fit somebody else's version of reality. You can be your own person, fit your own version of reality, rather than putting yourself into a teeny tiny itty bitty box that will never take you anywhere. Because if you want to be exceptional, if you want to get into the 1%, if you want to make a ton of money, if you want to be somebody who everybody else knows, you have to stand out. You can't be in a little box. You have to expand your box, expand your horizons, and realize reality is infinite. There is no one reality. Everybody has their own version of reality, and you have to see into that, accept that, and move forward in life. So that's my reality. Take it, leave it, doesn't matter. But I love you. Oh, other video I need to make today, or I'm going to be making. Somebody sent a death threat. Somebody sent a death threat. So I was expecting this sooner or later with the whole Empower Network. I'm not saying who it was to or whatever, but here's the thing about death threats. They happen because somebody is so scared of having their own life that they have to focus so hard on somebody else's and criticize every part of it. Because they are too afraid to be alone with themselves, and they don't like themselves. So if you really don't like yourself, if you're really uncomfortable with who you are, get comfortable. Realize that there are a million things to love about yourself. You are somebody who is brighter and more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. I just want you to know that. So anyway, that's my video of the day. Ta-ta for now. And thank you for watching.